Welcome to the Business Wisdom Podcast, where business strategist Clive Enever shares his inner business wisdom with you. Each episode is packed with his experience to help you grow and develop your own business wisdom. Join Clive as he shares his wisdom with you.
Hello and welcome to the Business Wisdom Podcast. My name is Clive Enever, and as a business strategist, I help you discover clarity to more easily engage with more of your ideal clients more often. The Business Wisdom Podcast covers issues confronting people in business and provides solutions to overcome those issues. In this episode, I'm looking at the questions every business owner should ask. When we regularly question the achievements of business, our role within it, and its role within our greater goals in life, we better understand what motivates and drives us, and the steps we need to take in order to arrive at what is our success. Business owners should regularly ask questions, both of themselves and of their business, because when we ask questions, we begin to better understand our business, our customers, and ourselves. Questioning allows us to keep the big picture in mind. It offers constant improvement, and it allows us to recognise opportunity more readily. The sort of questions that we should ask really focus on what business do I want to be in? How is this business actually performing at this time? Is there a better way of doing the things that we do? And where do we want to go from wherever it is that we are? And perhaps the most important one of all, because these questions that I've just mentioned all lead delivering the outcome for this one, am I happy? Many people I've met in business through the years aren't happy in their business, but don't do anything about placing themselves in a better position where they could be happy. They seem to fall into a bit of a rut. They stay in that rut, quite happy to grizzle that they're not happy. What the answers might reveal when we ask these questions is sometimes frightening and very often enlightening, because from those answers we can decide how we're going to move forward. It might be that there's something really simple that isn't being done which would make the business better. That is, it would make it a better experience for the customer. Because it's a better experience for the customer, it's a better experience for the business and everybody in it. Staff, owners, everybody. Looking at what business do I want to be in, often what happens when a person gets into business is that they start out with a grand idea, which is typically why somebody gets into business. They have a grand idea that they want to bring to the world at large. Once they get into business, things start to change. And it can end up that a person in business, having plenty of customers and lots of revenue and delivering lots of goods or services, etc., but that business is very different to what idea was when the business was established. When we're in business, it's really important to ask the questions about what it is that you actually do and to dig really deep to find out what it is that you want to do. That is, what will make you happy. Because if you spend long enough doing things that don't make you happy, you can become a bit of a grump. And if you're not happy, you can get down on yourself. And if you can get down on yourself, perhaps you're not living the life that you want to live. So looking deeply into who it is that you are and what it is that you want to do, we'll speak to who it is that you want as your ideal client. And when you understand your ideal client, it means that you have a really good understanding of what it is that you're going to provide, under what conditions that service or product is going to be provided. And when you understand your business to that level, it makes it really simple. It means that you're now in a position to walk away from somebody who wants something different to what you want and go and work with the people who are your ideal customer. Understanding all of that means that you have a much more clear understanding of who will be a great staff member, just from understanding who you are and who your ideal client is. It pulls it all together. And then you look at where to from here. Ideally here we want to be looking forward, not backward, because if you're looking backwards at what's happened, you're quite possibly focusing on things that are making it difficult for you to move forward. We want to be looking really closely at where we want to go. Where do I want to be? Put some time frames on it. Where do I want to be in 6 months? Where do I want to be in 12 months? 5 years? What about 10 years? How will the business services, the plans that you make, how will the business services and products that you provide be catering to your goals? However long you've been in business, it's important to make sure that you're working to your plan. If you don't have a plan, it's pretty hard to work to that plan. So planning is an important undertaking, and it's important to undertake it regularly. Whatever is happening in your business would ideally be planned. When you've got the plan right, it makes it easy to deliver whatever it is that you want to deliver. When you're asking where to from here, planning is important. Many people run their businesses without a plan. The people who have a plan generally report that they are much happier because they have a plan. And life in general is typically better for people who have a plan about how they want their life to be. So looking at planning is not something that you do to start a business and then leave it alone. Planning is something that you should be looking at on a regular basis. Just to look at one small part of what's involved in a business plan, your SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. Over time, your strengths, your opportunities, the weaknesses that exist within your business, and the threats that exist toward the well-being of your business will change. Because of that, it's important to be aware of what they are, because if you're aware of what they are, then you're in a position to move forward with confidence and take advantage of those strengths, those opportunities, and to mitigate any weaknesses and threats. Looking at how are we doing? This is something that first you ask yourself, because that will speak to whether or not you're a happy person, but also it's something that you want to be asking your customers regularly. Because the feedback you get from your customers tells you what it is that you should be providing, number one, and number two, tells you how well you're doing at providing it. Just those two simple things will allow you to do better in the business. Because if you're providing everything the way that people want it, chances are more people are going to hear about it, more people are going to be excited about it, you're going to get better results. And we'll also tell you the answers to the next question: is there a better way? Customers are really, really good at explaining the better way of doing things. This is not to be confused with somebody who just wants you to do things differently. It's just a way of discovering what do the customers actually want. If there's a better way, perhaps it's worth looking at. Now that could mean simply adopting technology. It could be providing additional staff. Perhaps your business has reached a stage where you can put it under management and you can go off and live that life you dreamed about. Asking, is there a better way, is really, really important, because that will keep you up to date in the eyes of the customers. At the end of the day, it's all about your customer. And asking yourself, am I happy? One of the things I'm known for saying frequently is that the very first thing a business should deliver to the owner of that business is a life. Most people get into business because they want to have better choices. Better choices can mean many, many different things, but at the end of the day, better choices means being able to choose the life that you live. And one of the very first things people in business tend to give up is time. And if we give up time, we have also given up the ability to choose. As a result of that, that very often means we're not living the life that we wanted to live. Am I happy? Probably the most important thing to think about in your business. If it's not making you happy, what needs to change in order to allow you to be happy in that business? Sometimes that's moving on, doing something else. Sometimes it's just a little tweak, extra staff. Sometimes it's different staff. There are lots of different ways of making yourself in a position so that you're happy. There are lots of different ways of putting yourself into the position where you will be happy. It's looking at yourself to decide what it is that will make you happy. Some people, of course, find it difficult to ask these questions and provide the answers that are appropriate by themselves. And therefore, it's important to recognise that perhaps you need somebody else that you can help you in asking and answering those questions. Because asking the question is relatively easy. It's finding the right answer can be a little bit more difficult for lots of people. But on a regular basis, make it part of your world. Ask yourself these questions. And most of all, am I happy? And find out what will make you happy and work towards that. As always, as you go about your business, wherever you are, whatever it is that you do. Go forward with positive intent, a kind heart, and a generous spirit.
Thanks for joining Clive. Remember to subscribe for more business wisdom. Want to work with Clive? Book a discovery call with him at enervagroup.com.au.